Hello everyone and welcome to Loughborough University. It is a historical day here in the East Midlands. The first time we broadcast a BUCS Women's National League match, and it is two teams that transcend rugby at this level and beyond. Loughborough students take on Hartpury University. It's also the first time we're giving you a double header, as later on we'll be bringing you BUCS Super Rugby as Loughborough students host Northumbria. So get comfortable, it's going to be a heck of a day. Behind me, the teams are warming up and we've got two big names leading them as well. The visitors, Hartpury, are coached by Mo Hunt. Katie Trevarthen is taking charge of Loughborough students, so plenty of Allianz Premier 15's experience filtering down and creating the pathway to the top level. We're counting down to kick off here. You're not going to miss a beat, but first let's look at Hartpury and how they prepared for the season.
Hartpury University, and I'm a fly half.
Natasha Hunt and Hartpury University and Senior Women's Rugby Academy Manager.
It's been a long time and I know the girls are all really excited just to get a game under the belt, so that's October couldn't come soon enough. Well, we'd love to get back to where we were. Obviously we didn't get the chance to do our final, so we'd really love to get back to that final, but you know, a lot of new girls, so just getting to play rugby, getting that team formed, and to get to that final would be amazing. That's definitely our aim.
Absolutely, I think we kind of owe it to the girls that haven't managed to finish that. So a lot of girls have left that were huge parts of the BUCS programme throughout the years, and yeah, I think that one stung for them, and it has to sting for all of us because we're such a tight-knit group that actually it's about doing it for them as much as it is doing it for the girls that we've got at the minute. Yeah, we've got about 11 girls that have come through this season, so freshers coming in that all of them, to be honest, have played rugby before. They're looking really sharp. The pre-season we've had, so willing to learn, and that's exactly what I want from a coaching point of view, girls that are excited to be there and that are willing to learn, and anything else we can just build on. So yeah, it's looking like a really good group this year, and I'm very excited for the season ahead. I think we've got to go with the cliche, the dream, nurture, achieve, Hartpury's DNA through and through. That's what we're living for.
Dream, nurture, achieve. Well, if you're to consult the history books and distill that message down, it simply spells DNA. And what is in that double helix of Hartpury? Well, it's winning and trophies. Denied the opportunity to go to the final after a stellar season, thwarted by COVID, they're here to relaunch yet another title tilt that culminates at Twickenham. Loughborough, the opposition today, and Hartpury with many new faces but many talented faces, with their 1 to 15 taking the pitch today. Looking at the backs, Maisie Burton is one to look out for. She was in the England setup, but coming back from an ACL today. This is her comeback season, and the lady who will be charged with releasing the backline and Burton is the captain, Sophie Bridger, who we saw 6th year at Hartpury. She is Hartpury through and through, studying sport, exercise, science. Whereas in the front row, Amber Robson and Evie Roach are the ones who are side by side with Jordan Russell, who studied at Loughborough College. How she would dearly love to get this campaign off with a win against some of her old mates. So that's the Hartpury 15, but Loughborough, they are an institution that again only knows winning across all sports, and in their first season in the WNL, they are going to be looking to make a splash. Let's see what they've been up to.
My name's Alex Baker and I come to Loughborough University, and I'm a fly-half/fullback.
Hi, I'm Katie Trevarthen. I am the BUCS lead at Loughborough University.
I'm super excited. I just can't wait to see what us group as girls can do. So we got promoted. This is our first season in it from being promoted, and it's just a really special group of girls, and I just can't wait to see what we could put on the table.
Girls are just so excited to get out playing rugby. Obviously really tough time for them last season.
I think for us as a team, I really hope we can even win it, like get to the final at least or win it. I'm really feeling hopeful for that. And then on a personal level, I'd like to progress my journey with Loughborough Lightning, the women's Prem team, and hopefully get lots of game time with those as well. One person in particular, she's called Amy Pyle. Really good step on her, really good game sense. I think she'd be one to watch for sure.
Yeah, that's a tough question because there's a lot. You'll chat to her as our captain this year. Alex Baker is a player with huge potential. Who I guess you'll be speaking to shortly. She's definitely one to watch at that sort of 10. Potential, motivated, and a really passionate group.
We heard it right there from Loughborough captain Alex Baker, that they are here to win this. It might be their debut season, but the aspirations are lofty. And I say the word Lightning because this university is intertwined with the Allianz Premier 15 side, just as Hartpury are with Gloucester Hartpury. And I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by a Loughborough Lightning player, Megan Davey, scrum half, potentially involved at the weekend against Worcester, and she knows this Loughborough side intimately, one which features no less than 5 who have played Premier 15s this season. Grace White, Alex Baker, Jess Weaver in the back line, whilst in the front row, Beyonce Fowler at just 19 years old. She's been involved with England 18s training camps, and she is in there with Isla Curfew, who's an emerging loose head, taken under the wing of coach Katie Trevarthen. Some mentor to have at your beck and call. While Nikita Prothero, well, a Dynamo 7 on the bench last week against DMP Sharks, and actually featured on the wing against Saracens earlier in the season, coming off the bench. Watch out for the England under-20 flyer in the 7 jersey. Looking at the replacements for both sides, plenty of firepower, plenty of potential. And Lily Culf is a tight head who's got tongues wagging. She's been benefiting from the coaching of Charlie Jacoby, the USA international for Loughborough Town, and she'll be going toe-to-toe at some stage with Maya Boucher-White, who spent a year out in France playing last year. We all know how grizzled the front rows of France are and their knowledge of the dark arts. While in the back line, Amy Relf is a late addition to the Loughborough bench, an aggressive 9 who's played for Loughborough Lightning herself, and she'll be coming up against a tigerish backline replacement duo at some stage of Layla Brebner-Holden and Izzy McKinder, both playing their rugby for Cheltenham, both knowing each other very, very well. So interesting to see what all of those replacements can do when they eventually do emerge. So, Megan, thank you so much for joining us. And what do you think of the setting today? Picture perfect here at Loughborough, a pitch you know well.
Yeah, no, it's a great setup today. Lovely weather. Wednesdays always hold out for us. I'm super excited to see this match go underway. Great teams on both sides. As you said, some of the Loughborough girls like Alex Baker and Grace White, really excited to see them, and some of the Hartpury girls are really good, so I'm really excited.
So Alex Baker and Grace White, a great combo to focus on, because Grace White actually really a fly half by trade. So Loughborough seeking to throw the ball around, 2 playmakers as the 10-12 axis. What can we expect from those two?
Oh, I think you're going to expect a lot. Obviously, as you said, they're both 10 players in and out, but having Grace there at that 12 would just allow the ball to probably go wider a bit more and release some of those really exciting players that we have out wide. So no, I'm really excited to see how they link up together, and it's going to be a good match.
But staring ahead of them is Hartpury. Hartpury, the rugby juggernaut that just churns out quality from college to university to AP 15s level. They're a team, they're an institution, you'll know yourself. What is it that they bring in their DNA? We've spoken about their DNA earlier, that makes them such a tough proposition.
Gosh, like they're so physical. I think you can see that from their Premiership side as well. They're physical, but they've also got really exciting backs as well, like out wide, and obviously under Mohunt as well. I can think we're going to see a lot of things being implemented from her, and they're just great, Hartpury, aren't they? And against Loughborough, I think it's going to be a really good match, and I'm really, really excited to see it.
So, Hartpury first to take the field here at Loughborough Stadium for this first match of the season. What an opener. Two institutions steeped in rugby history across all formats of the game. And that ripple of applause you'll hear is because Loughborough, in their famous African Violets, take to the field. The referee today, Holly Myers, plenty of Premier 15's experience, so a real authoritarian in the middle who'll take no nonsense and marshal us to what I imagine is going to be a lively running game. A winger herself back in her day playing for Richmond and Harlequins. She's going to be a referee that is going to want to see advantage played and invention encouraged. So the beginning of a new season, the start of a new era as the Women's National League is got underway by the historic red jerseys of Hartpury up against the inimitable African Violet of Loughborough. They look to return with a bit of interest, and they do so early through Sydney Mead. Loughborough happy to play with ball in hand, probe the left channel and retain possession well. They seek to go to the second line of attack with a pivot from one of their forwards. Sydney Mead's on the go again. Good play from Loughborough. Bursting down the right, but a fumble at the crucial moment from Amelia Tutt.
That was great play, as I said, seeing them getting it wide early. It was good. But yeah, exciting things to see, I think, in this game.
Well, plenty of adventure from Loughborough in the open exchanges, and seeking to get the ball in the hands of Amelia Tutt, who, again, has benefited from the relationship with Loughborough Town. A very, very exciting winger. Keep your eyes on her. But Hartpury are going to attack for the first time, and a short ball gives them some penetration through the Loughborough defensive backline. They try to find their way to the outside, but Sophie Henry is in there with the tackle before Oyeka comes in with a tackle. Hartpury with a good passage here, break the halfway line, but holding on with the Loughborough defence, crowding around Annabelle Aspin, and the first penalty of the match.
I think you can see with Hartpury already, they've got great speed of ball. Obviously, if they keep that up, they're probably going to exploit us Loughborough girls on the edge, but that was great play from Hartpury, but a good turnover from Loughborough as well.
So the first opportunity for us to take a look at the set piece. Perhaps not your area of expertise, Megan, but one that you're close to the action as a scrum half.
Yeah, no, I don't really have much say in the line-outs, I just watch them. But no, I wish I could say more about this, but as I said, I just watch from afar. We'll see what they bring up.
Well, Loughborough opting for a shortened line-out. The first test for Pip Balcom, who finds her jumper, albeit with an unstraight throw. And like a 2-for-1, we get to see the scrum now.
I know.
I mean, the vista you see before you on the screen is as picturesque as you could get for running rugby. It's a vision of serenity, but mustn't be fooled by the tricky wind here at Loughborough. It sweeps through this pitch and it can be really difficult for those line-outs and also kicking.
Yeah, it's such a big open pitch that the wind just takes the ball quite easily. But I'm excited to see how this goes from Hartpury.
Well, the picture from that scrum would suggest that it was Loughborough in the ascendancy, but the signal from Holly Myers is that Loughborough prop bearing in illegally, so Hartpury come away with the penalty.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see what they do off this set piece. I said Hartpury have a deadly backline, so it'd be nice to see how they exploit through Loughborough here, and I'm really excited to see how this goes.
It's the first line out for Hartpury. A miscommunication with the jumpers, and that leads to a wonky line-out throw from Jordan Russell, who we picked out in the build-up. Neither set piece functioning supremely right at the moment, but maybe an element of first game nerves?
Yeah, possibly. And I say we got a scrum now, so we'll see how Loughborough do with this win. Maybe they'll tighten up a bit because the wind seems to be taking the ball, but let's see what they run here.
So the two Jesses battling in the 9 jerseys. Weaver with the put in, Berry watchful on the side and looking to spoil, and gets round well. Loughborough do incredibly well to take play away from the grappling forwards. It's a continuity for the match, and a chance for Jess Weaver to break. Jess Weaver still flying, but clattered on the flank. A crucial cover tackle coming in.
It's a great run from Jess. She's electric on the ball.
Loughborough retain possession. A crowd on that far right hand side egging them on, as we see Oyeka create more opportunity down the right. This is good from Loughborough. Fowler takes play to within 15 metres. Composure required here from Loughborough, who do have the numbers out left. A missed ball into the hands of Henry, but it is advantage. Whoa. Scintillating play from Loughborough. The crowd on their feet, and real early promise from them.
That was also great defence from Hartpury. You see the pace that Loughborough were playing with, and to defend that with such pace on the ball, that was really, really good defending from Hartpury.
Well, Hartpury here, arguably as the favourites. You look at their history, the number of finals they've made, and also the final that they should have fought before COVID struck in 2019. But it's Loughborough who've started the brightest so far.
Yeah, no, it's been a good start from Loughborough. Obviously getting it to the wide channels, which I expected we would, but also playing with a lot of pace and momentum on the game. But equally, Hartpury have been really good in that scramble defence to get us down on the wide edges. So yeah, great from both teams.
I'm not entirely sure what the hold-up is at the moment. Referee off the pitch currently, as we tend to an injured Hartpury player on the far side, in fact. So it looks like a replacement will be required. We do hope that whoever that is over there on the far side is okay. She's sitting up now. And a moment of respite for both sides. What do you think their Hartpury will be saying in their huddle right there at the moment after this opening 7 minutes?
To be honest, I think they'll just be saying to look at the edge players and just to defend Loughborough quite square, and obviously we love getting it to the edges and letting our fast players run. But honestly, I think they've been doing great already, and maybe off this set piece, because I think it's their ball, just to accommodate for the win maybe, and try and get some crisp passes away and exploit this Loughborough defence.
Ladies, let's stand up. That's a really big gap. Let's close that a little bit. Otherwise we'll be falling our faces. That's it. Big scrum, girls! Bind. Set.
A more solid scrum from Hartpury on this occasion, and it gives them a chance to strike narrow through the big carrying of Abby Lee Priestnall. But again, penalty at the breakdown, holding on.
Ladies, take a step, it's 10.
Holly Myers very, very hot on the subject in the opening 10 minutes, and the second time that Hartpury have come unstuck after piercing the gain line. And Loughborough, well, they've gladly booted the ball to touch, and they've got a line out to launch another attacking threat with steepling depth to the back line. But the line does have to go to plan first and foremost.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see, obviously, Loughborough push this one, we'll attempt to push this one over the line. We need a big defence from Hartpury, but I'm sure they'll give it to us.
Hold.
Yeah, that's great from Hartpury.
That's better from Loughborough, who get the nudge on and begin to wind round the corner. They've stayed connected. They're continuing to rumble. There's a question mark as to whether the try has been awarded.
Come across, give us space.
The Loughborough players are retreating back to the halfway line, so try awarded, the first of the WNL season, and it goes to the home side, who really, really do deserve it after this opening 10 minutes.
No, that's been a great 10 minutes from Loughborough, as you said. Just always putting the pressure on in attack, even out wide, but then we also have those really good forwards that are good at pushing the ball over, but equally great from Hartpury as well. Like, those tries like that sometimes are unstoppable, but yeah, great.
Yeah, time's off.
So time off for another Hartpury injury.
Alex, time's off. Yeah.
Mo Hunt having to reshuffle her team, but hopefully not too much her tactics very, very early. Demonstration of the physicality out there. The Hartpury player is sitting up, and Alex Baker will have to wait a little bit longer before attempting the conversion.
Time back on.
And with time back on, Captain Baker can look to turn this try into 7. Well, Loughborough will have to settle for just the 5, but they'll be very, very happy. A rolling maul set up by some scintillating back play earlier in the opening salvos of the game. Hartpury splintered, and Loughborough reacting first to make their way across the line.
Time you run. Yeah.
So Hartpury, shaken from the opening 10 minutes. 2 early changes, a try conceded, and Loughborough with the wind in their sails. They attack again through their wider channels. The handling is crisp, it's instinctive. And the continuity through Oyeka,
Advantage.
who chews off plenty of meters as Loughborough play with the advantage.
22 red, not rolling.
A knock
You're
on
good.
brings the advantage back. Hartpury again being penalised at the breakdown. Well,
Get him on side, Sophie.
Loughborough try and chew off a bit too much of the touchline and miss their touch eventually.
There's backward.
Hartpury kick to compete, but it's Loughborough who retain the possession. Again, strong carrying from Oyeka. There are purple jerseys queuing up on the right flank, and it's in the hands of their flyer, Tut. Expertly dragged down, but Hartpury are scrambling.
Ball's playable. Step. Advantage. Offside.
Again, the carrying might of Oyeka is proving so tough to handle.
No advantage coming from the knock-on. Penalty. Offside.
Well, Loughborough tap, they go, and they're going to go all the way across the whitewash, and it's 2 tries in under a dozen minutes for the African Violets. A dream start to their WNL careers.
No, that was great play from Loughborough, especially from Jess Weaver there. You just see the pace that she adds to the game. It's unbearable, and you just break that defence apart. And then there's momentum, just carrying that on with a quick tap. Yeah, very good from Jess, and then equally good from Alex Baker to be in the support line.
Well, look at that alertness. Hartpury backpedaling, fractured, and really the easiest of finishes in the end after the smart work from Jess Weaver. Baker still yet to register a kick as she drags the conversion wide to the left. But 2 tries, Loughborough leading by 10 over Hartpury with just over 12 minutes gone. As here we see the speed of thought and just picking off that broken defence. The captain, Alex Baker, working in sweet harmony with her 9, Jess Weaver. And all the momentum with the newcomers, Loughborough. Hartpury need a spark, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they've defended a lot so far, so it'll be really exciting to see when they get their hands on the ball and put some attack phases together. But yeah, I'm still waiting for it. It'll be really good when we see it.
Well, Bridger, the captain, restarts play. Lovely hands, stooping low on the bootlaces from Loughborough. They continue to try and stretch Hartpury to the edges, but a knock on and unsympathetic pass to the bootstraps of Sophie Henry. And Hartpury, absolutely vital field position for them to try and launch something.
Yeah, this is really exciting play to go off from Hartpury, backs versus backs, so we can get that ball out. And I think, as I said, it'll be really, really dangerous to get those backs on the ball.
Bind. Set. Let's reset. Let's go again, ladies. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, Hartpury more than solid on the 8-woman shove. And again, they look to carry narrow, but a vital hand coming in from Sydney Mead to dislodge it from Sophie Bridger's hands as she ghosted through the gap. All of us here thinking it was going to be the switch to Priestnell.
Yeah, that was a great show and go from Sophie there, wasn't it? See, she's just so lethal on the ball, but also good from Sydney to get her hand on that ball.
Well, it opened up for her in the middle.
I thought she was gone.
Timely, frustrating hand from Mead to force the knock on. And last time we saw a centre field scrum, we saw Jess Weaver break and strip, but she's not going to do the same here. Jess Berry too eager before Weaver gets things started again. She wants to play this game at pace this afternoon.
Roll red, ball's playable, 9, stay there, red. Step.
And it's Loughborough who are profiting. Smart hands again between the forwards before the power takes Loughborough well clear of their 22. Beautiful show and go from Chloe Williams. And each Loughborough player capable of doing a multi-skilled job in any position, as it's Becca Lawn who comes in at 9 to launch the attack. Can they get it to Tuck? Can Tuck go? Can Tuck go? Wow. The former 100-metre hurdler dragged down on the 10-metre. But we're seeing the danger every time the ball gets in her hands. Oyeka on the rampage. Offload.
Great offload.
Back to Tuck. Hartpury a match for her power and pace so far, but Loughborough are just... It's an all-court display at the moment from them.
Yeah, it's great. We're getting such good carries from his forwards and then obviously releasing our backs, but equally, I say it again and again, the Hartpury defence, even though it's scrambled, they were getting the girls to the floor and they're actually stopping us from playing with momentum. So yeah, great defence from Hartpury as well to get us out there. Great for both teams.
Wow, that is an eager bench to get onto the field, and no doubt when that's the brand of rugby that's being played at the moment. Forwards and backs working in unison. Is that a big hallmark of what you look to train and play like here at Loughborough?
Oh, 100%. Obviously, it's such a competitive team, obviously, with the BUCS and the Lightning team, but there's just so many exciting players, no matter if they're on the team or on the bench. There's just so much talent across the whole team, and I can't wait to see some of the bench players come on, like Erin Rochester, great 9 as well, plays with a lot of pace, and obviously Hartpury as well, some great players, so it'd be nice to see the bench come on and make a big impact.
Well, the bench being called upon for Hartpury far more than they or Mo Hunt would like at the moment,
Hartpury line out.
as we say farewell to Gabby Skov, who is a big loss, having spent plenty of time in the Gloucester Hartpury setup, featured in a number of pre-season games. So experience and talent
Not straight. Option.
leaving the field,
Option, scrum or line out.
and a line-out linchpin as well. And we see that absence of experience and a key line-out operator forces the wonky throw from Hartpury. And it'll be a Loughborough possession, interestingly calling for the line out.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Obviously, if we can get it away, then it'll be great, but let's just hope that the wind doesn't impact our throwing too much here.
Not straight. Option,
Jinxed it.
Hartpury. Scrum called. Hartpury scrum.
Well,
On the cross.
both sides struggling with the accuracy of their arrows at the moment, and Hartpury eventually say enough's enough,
We'll go for the scrum.
and they go to the scrum instead.
Yeah, probably a smart move. Obviously, the wind is it's bad obviously on this pitch 'cause it's so open. So yeah, probably scrum's a good idea.
Out.
Well, Hartpury
Fine.
will be happy with the way
Set.
their 8-woman shove has gone so far, although Loughborough begin to march forward, well resisted by Hartpury initially, but a penalty to Loughborough, and a warm roar of appreciation from the touchline.
Yeah, it was a good shove from Loughborough. So I wish I knew what was going on in there more, but no, it was a good shove from both teams actually. I thought it was quite even.
Well, Megan, you are pretty close to the action when it comes to scrum time. I am expecting a level of expertise from you
Yeah.
as a professional cheerleader of the 8 when they're shoving in a scrum.
Oh yeah. I'm near it a lot, but I have no idea what's going on.
So Loughborough back in the Hartpury red zone. Last time they hit their line, they charged forward and across the line. But again, missed timing on the jump, and the throw lets Hartpury off the hook. And in a compounding of the line-out error, a penalty to Hartpury, a much-needed relief about to come from the boots of Sophie Bridger.
Loughborough defences there. Hartpury, you're at the end of the line. On the line, Loughborough.
So another attempt at straight throwing and well-timed jumping for these sides. Yeah, I can't imagine the difficulties. The sun is blinding for the jumpers to be jumping into, but it's Loughborough who see it best. A big left hand coming in to swipe the ball away from red hands, and a penalty, and Loughborough are off. Jess Weaver dictating the tempo, wanting to play the game at breakneck speed, and it's one that's putting Loughborough on the front foot. They come through their forwards who pivot to move the ball wide, miss to the hands of Henry. She's just not getting the service she deserves at the moment. The final pass behind her head, and the ball trickling out for a line out, although looked to be a knock on and a scrum to Hartpury.
No, that was great defence on Hartpury. Even though it was scrambled, you could see the wingers staying high and just getting in that eyesight of some of our centres, so you just have to throw that loopy pass over, which if it pays off it's great, but as you say, like a little knock on there, but great from Hartpury.
Well, Sophie Henry must be wondering what it is about the more commonly better right-hand passing, because Amelia Tutt is getting pin-perfect service on the right wing. We've seen her galloping away many times, but Sophie Henry yet to be unleashed. Although Hartpury, as has been their shape so far, go narrow from the set piece, and the transition ball looks juicy to counter-attack from Amelia Tutt, getting that pass that Henry's been looking for, but knocking it on with some space to run into.
No, that would have been great if we obviously kept ball in hand, but obviously again seeing that great tempo from Alex Baker, just wanted to get the ball rolling, but no, good from Loughborough, but hopefully we can pull it off next time.
In these situations, if you're a Hartpury player, are you trying to keep the ball strategically from getting in to Loughborough hands when these penalties are given, to stop these quick taps, because they really are threatening?
Yeah, I guess it's the 9 seeking the ball, but also there are ways to maybe slow that down, but obviously you can't say that. But I think trying to get the ball away from these Loughborough 9s and 10s would probably be the way to slow down that ball, but also they're looking for it a lot, so it's kind of hard to do.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Healthy crowd here at Loughborough, overseeing the latest solid scrum from Hartpury.
You can't go for the ball if she hasn't rolled away.
Hartpury this time inject some tempo into the game through a quick tap.
Great carry.
It works for them nicely across the 10-metre line. Bridger pumping away across. And again, they like the tap. They're learning lessons from Loughborough, and there are numbers for Hartpury if they can find them. Or 10 Henworth dragged down in the 22. This is Hartpury's most promising passage, and this is exquisite prop forward play from Evie Roach.
That was a great line break, but also great tackle from Chloe Williams there. Just shows when Hartpury play with such pace and momentum that they're lethal through their forwards and their backs, so great from Hartpury there.
Well, it just opened up, didn't it, there for Evie Roach. Here we go, we see the African Violet see part and away, bangs off the left, but what a tackle.
That was a great tackle from Chloe Williams, yeah.
From Chloe Williams, stopping the powerful prop, who had the momentum you thought to maybe carry across the line, and the offload just not quite going to hand. But that's the most promising passage of play we've seen from Hartpury so far this half.
No, that was so exciting. You could see them all on each other's shoulders looking for that offload, and I thought she was in there. That was great play from Hartpury. Really exciting.
ladies. Crouch. Bind. Set. Leave her alone, 9. Leave her.
A precious scrum for Loughborough to defend, and boy do they defend it well, and they get it to the hands of their chief ball carrier, Oyeka.
She's lethal on the ball. She's such a big carrier. Also great clearance from Alex Baker to get that away.
Line out, Hartpury.
A consummate exit from Loughborough, but still under the cosh, just on the outskirts of their 22.
30 mark.
Oyeka has been so destructive with the ball in hand this half.
Yeah, she's so powerful and so hard to tackle. She's got this big knee, stride length, and she's brutal in trying to tackle her. Great player.
One to avoid in training.
Oh, 100%. You're in a different tackle group than her.
Thank you, 9. Not straight option.
Well, again, Jordan Russell's throw not finding the intended jumper within the confines of the throwing channel. For Loughborough, this is ideal. Had the scrum, the carry from Oyeka, the clearance from Baker, and again with the scrum now to try and fight their way out of their half into red territory again. We've seen Weaver go from the base. We've seen Oyeka carry with menace. We see an 8-9 and a backline release on this occasion. Lovely step in and feed. And here goes Amelia Tutt. Amelia Tutt is off and away.
Great.
But again, smashed by Maisie Burton,
Work to get back, Hartpury. Advantage offside.
who's some last line of defence for Hartpury.
Advantage offside.
Loughborough playing with the advantage. And for once, Jess Weaver deciding to put her foot on the brake.
That was good play from Loughborough there. I think maybe Grace White might have been a little bit too deep for that out the back, so maybe she had a bit of too much to run onto, but the intentions are there to get it wide, and it's great play, really. Amelia Tutt getting that hands on that ball again.
Well, one thing that is standing out is the amount of variation that Loughborough are demonstrating. It's got the ball carrying capabilities of the forwards, the sniping, darting play of Weaver and Baker, but then also the ability to unleash these backs who certainly look like they enjoy to run out there.
Reattach 6.
It's a great shove from Hartpury there.
Play it 9.
Loughborough forced to go to their backs from the strong defence from the rolling maul from Hartpury, and eventually Sydney Mead finding herself isolated. A defensive win.
Yeah, that was great defence from Hartpury. A big shove on in the maul to stop us actually from driving it forward, and then to get on that ball really, really quickly was really impressive. So no, really good defence from Hartpury there.
Well, with about 15 minutes remaining of the half, I should make you aware that our clock isn't entirely in beat with referee Holly Myers, so there could be some seconds either side of the clock that we're not accounted for. But with this in mind, obviously Loughborough with the fast start, 2 tries in the opening 10 minutes. Hartpury though, showing some fight, repelling Loughborough now, and also with a few moments in the 22 just before. Do you think that Loughborough will feel they need to get another score to illustrate their dominance in this half?
I think, yeah, obviously it would be nice to get a few more points on the board, but equally I think we need to give a lot of credit to Hartpury's defence. Even when we're getting to Amelia Tutt out wide, who's so fast that just the defence is incredible to actually get her down. And no, I think a lot of credit needs to go to Hartpury's defence, but obviously I think we get to see Hartpury go on the board, and I think they will. But equally, like, both teams are playing really, really well.
That's Loughborough's mark at the end of the line. End of the white line, Loughborough.
So with both starting locks having sadly departed the game early for Hartpury, the line-out set piece is under even more pressure for Hartpury, and the throwing of Jordan Russell. It's straight this time, but Loughborough are in there just nipping ahead and being troublesome for the Hartpury jumpers. So difficult as we see Tut take a gallop inside this time. Growing into the game more and more. Loughborough with the numbers. Loughborough flying down the left.
Still got advantage.
But forced inside. Replacement Cassidy Scott.
Still got penalty advantage.
Loughborough playing with the advantage and playing with the numbers. Can they make them count? A dart back inside. More direct this time through Curfy.
Still got advantage. Penalty offside. No advantage coming.
So the penalties mounting up for Hartpury at the moment. The defence is
Time off.
a lot more resilient, but the constant pressure from Loughborough is forcing them into infringements.
Yeah, no, it's great from Loughborough just playing on top, but I just think it's penalties that are getting away from Hartpury. But great play from Elia Tutt just to go straight from a wing down the middle. Just great carries. Those high knees of her, just impossible to tackle at times.
Again, different contact group at training.
Yeah, you wouldn't catch me in that contact group either.
Sophie. Use the opportunity to quickly speak to the girls. A lot of lazy runners getting back on D, so there's two advantages there. Okay, one for a high tackle and then not onside. Okay, speak to about being lazy runners getting back inside. Yeah, you've got time. You want to scrub? Yeah. They've just got maybe speak to the girls.
So not an ultimatum from referee Holly Myers just yet,
Time back on.
but certainly an acknowledgement of the number of infringements that Hartpury have been forced into through really just the level of good possession that Loughborough have had so far in the half. And as pieces of attacking real estate come, you don't get much more prime than this. Centre field on the 22, Jess Weaver.
Loughborough, we loving this one.
A threat from the base.
Oh,
But just as Oyeka sought to pick and pop to her 9, a penalty conceded, and Hartpury on the loose. Loose offload. And a sloppy bit of play, really, from Hartpury, who again were trying to drive the tempo, trying to emulate that of Loughborough. Comes to a line out. It's going to be a Loughborough throw, and another chance to launch an attack in the Hartpury half. You could feel the anticipation in the crowd here as the ball made its way back to Oyeka, and Weaver was just beginning to shift across to the right.
everyone was getting ready, weren't they?
An attack from the scrum. It is a good feeling here at Loughborough for this match at the moment, and one that's seen 2 early tries from the home team
Too many rolls.
in the opening 10 minutes.
Are you allowed one roll, eh? Yeah, you're good.
But Hartpury have stymied the Loughborough attack for the last 20 minutes, albeit via the medium of penalties a little bit. And again, Loughborough will just position themselves deeper into Hartpury territory.
It's a great kick.
And into the position that they mauled and they rolled from for their opening try.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see another maul here, aren't we?
Loughborough, take a step this way. Thanks.
Wow, tranquility in the air from Loughborough, and they build the maul and they go on the drive. Hartpury is splintered again.
Great defence from Hartpury there.
But they find a second win to stop Loughborough. They remain coordinated as it's taken to the ground. Loughborough seek room out wide. But a rush defence from Hartpury forces them to go inside, onto the toe. Chaos in the backfield for Hartpury. Who's going to be on it first?
Grounded by red. Penalty Loughborough for offside.
Close one, wasn't it?
It looked to be Sophie Bridger maybe who reacted fastest, but mayhem from the grubber from Grace White. Picked around as that second ball player. But Loughborough still have possession and they still have territory. 4 metres short. Oyeka is dragged down. Can Loughborough get themselves a third?
Oh, it's great defence from Hartpury.
They are thwarted by epic Hartpury breakdown defence. All the momentum, all the feeling here in Loughborough was with that attacking movement. You thought the try was coming, but Hartpury showing their breakdown prowess and happy to run their way out of the 22, but they've been turned over. And Loughborough get yet another bite at the Hartpury cherry.
Roll, Red, stay there, Red.
Can they make this one count? As they wrap round the corner to the left.
Stay there.
Desperate defence from Hartpury. Huge hits raining in from the red jerseys. A short ball for Loughborough to try and muscle their way across the line, again repelled. Loughborough weave back left, but the response is the same. Not able to pass.
Roll, Red, 2.
The defence from Hartpury is mighty, but they're short-numbered out wide, and it's in the hands of their destructive ball carrier, Oyeka, who will not be stopped from that range, and Loughborough have their third of the afternoon.
That was a great try from Loughborough. Obviously hitting up the forwards through the middle, then slowly but surely that defence is going to creep in, and then that's when you pull the trigger to get it out wide, and over the line goes Nena. Sure love that.
Well, if there's someone in the Loughborough side who deserves a try for their efforts in the first half, it is that lady wearing the number 8 jersey, Nena Oyeka.
She'll just blend herself in with the backs and get to try.
Yeah, popping up in the centre when there's only one opposition back left to make her way across. But she has deserved it. She has been a handful in all quarters this half, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's just such a strong ball carrier. Then as you see there, she's got great hands to just take that ball and just pop it over the line. But no, great attack from Loughborough all around. But also, Hartpury held on really, really well there. We've got some strong ball carriers and they did really, really well. So.
Well, Alex Baker fails to maximise the try once again, but it will matter little to a Loughborough side who have impressed in every area of the field, and none more so than Nena Oyeka, who bags her first try of the season and Loughborough's third of the afternoon.
time's back onto it.
Great. Did you get the interview at half time? Oh, right. Sorry.
Hartpury looking for a response from their 15. And they get a penalty, and that'll do very nicely in laying the foundations to try and respond to this Loughborough dominance that we've seen all half. A quick tap and a big carry and some space down the left flank. Oh, the offload's a risky one, and it is unbelievably juggled by Pip Hendy. Hartpury, they've never been closer.
Advantage, not rolling.
3 metres shy, playing with the advantage.
Still got penalty advantage.
Hartpury looking to batter down the Loughborough door. Still no way through, onto the boot, an awkward bounce. And picked off by Henry eventually, but the advantage was being played.
That was great attack from Hartpury there. You see when they play with some pace and momentum, just so hard to defend, but no, they did well there, but obviously Loughborough giving away a penalty.
On the 5-9.
Thank you.
How Hartpury would love to score right now. It would change the complexion of the two team talks.
Held up. Goal line drop out.
But held up on the line. Oh, agonising frustration for Hartpury. Jess Berry looking to take on the forwards from the tap.
She's a braver 9 than me. You can see what her intentions were, but Loughborough just did enough to keep her up and hold her up over that line.
Well, she retreats to the side of the field. Hopefully not another injury for Hartpury to contend with. So you see the first goal line dropout of the afternoon, and expertly gathered and returned by Hartpury. They are not ending this half without a score lightly. More continuity, more pressure. And now it's Hartpury forcing the penalties from their hosts.
Great line.
A scything line from Maisie Burton takes Hartpury back to within 5. A go from Evie Roach, but isolated and turned over, and Loughborough breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that turnover. Great from Hartpury. You see Maisie Burton just come onto that ball with such pace. I think it was her. No, yeah, tearing up the Loughborough defence a little bit there.
What do you guys want at half time, by the way?
Okay.
Am I throwing today?
Ladies, time's off. You got a replacement 9? Oh, okay, cool. Time on, ladies. Keep them on you, Sophie. Scrum advantage.
Hartpury in the dying embers of the first half will have another attempt at breaching this obdurate Loughborough defence, and they do so with a cute ball smuggled into the arms of an on-rushing 8. Priestnell stepping back inside when maybe the 4 red jerseys to her right could have utilised the ball better. Hartpury retain the ball though. One of their replacements, Tanwyn Cox. Amber Robson, this time with the carrying after Evie Roach has impressed in the half. An attempted interception, not intentional. So we'll have a scrum, but definitely, this is the best we've seen from Hartpury so far.
Yeah, that was much better play from them. Just playing with a bit of pace on the ball and just started to like slice through that Loughborough defence. But no, really good from Hartpury.
Last play of the half. This feels significant. Hartpury with 8 to score. They go in with their tails off. Loughborough, they shut them out. It's a half well done.
Great offload.
Hartpury continue to try and batter down the Loughborough defence. But as has been the feature of this opening half, it's Loughborough who are a match to it. They force Hartpury into an infringement. It ends on the penalty, and it ends with Loughborough booting the ball out and going into the half-time team talk, leading 15 points to 0, 3 tries to the good. It is Loughborough 15, Hartpury 0. And the first of those 3 tries coming through some coordinated and aggressive forward play. There was a hint of whether it was a try or not before eventually Nikita Prothero just slipped through a tangle of Hartpury legs. The grounding to Hartpury fans tuning in would probably say that that wasn't a try.
This is just an example of great pace by Jess, but Alex Baker staying with Jess there. Just when you play on top, it's just so hard to defend. But no, great from Jess and Alex there.
Well, for all the doubt surrounding the opening try, there was no doubt about this one. Weaver and Baker, who've really driven the impetus of this Loughborough first half performance, combining for the second, and this was a glimpse of what Hartpury could do. Evie Roach, not the only time we saw her breaking the Loughborough ranks, and this is illustrative of what Loughborough can do out wide. Amelia Tutt, she's been on our lips many times in this half, wide, coming in, looking for work in the middle. And it's that variety from Loughborough that's been so challenging for Hartpury to defend, although they have defended stoutly. Under assault at times throughout the half, but eventually pressure breaks defences. And this was Oyeka, the big number 8, popping up in the centre channel and helping herself to a much deserved try.
No, she's fully deserved that one. She's had an amazing first half, and I'm sure she'll have a great second half as well. Look at her. She pots herself in with the backs.
I think you could actually see her eyes bulge out of her sockets at the sight of just one back in front of her with 7 metres to go.
Oh, she's in her element there.
And that was Hartpury at the end, attempting to get themselves onto the scoreboard. Concerted pressure fended off by the Loughborough defence. And all that action means at half-time here at Loughborough, it is the home side Loughborough leading Hartpury 15 points to 0. And Dave Rogers is down on the touchline with a bit more insight.
Thank you very much. Joe Rees joins us, Director of Rugby here at Loughborough. 15-0 in front of the cameras, the first time we've live streamed a game. That's a pretty good start for your team.
Yeah, no, we'll take that. I think that's pretty pleasing that, you know, this is our first game at this level as well. So it starts so well, and I think, you know, we've been pretty dominant in patches as well. So we're certainly pleased with how we started.
It was strange last season and the season before. Obviously, last season was strange for all kinds of reasons. But to see a top division of student sport without Loughborough Loughborough involved. So just to get to this stage must have meant a lot to you, the organisation, and of course the girls out there playing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit of a journey. 4 years ago when we got the Lightning franchise, women's rugby here was pretty big historically, but we probably hadn't invested a lot of time and effort into it as much as we probably should have. On that very point. So it's been a bit of a journey for the student team. They went into the Premier North when the National League started and had to get promoted. So we were probably very fortunate that we managed to finish that process with the final being just before COVID hit. So we've been waiting for this opportunity to play this level, and there's a lot of preparation going into it, and it's pretty pleasing to see some of the students who've come specifically for this level of rugby are getting the opportunity to now play.
Well, we've had a half then. You've scored 3 tries, none of them converted. You haven't conceded any. What were your thoughts on the 40 minutes of rugby that we saw?
Yeah, pretty pleased. And I'm looking probably bigger picture. I'm pretty pleased with how we're applying ourselves, looking at the brand of rugby we're trying to play, and it's pretty pleasing that some of the players who've gone in there are starting to stand out and take ownership of it. So pretty pleased with that as a general point. But I just think the go forward we've had and the tempo we're playing at. I think Jess Weaver in particular has been pretty good at 9. That has raised the tempo like we've asked her to do, and Nena at 8 has been pretty destructive when she's had a ball. So pretty pleasing with that, and I think it's just up for us now to make sure we keep that momentum.
What about the people involved then? 'Cause you talked about this level of rugby, and we'll move on to Premier 15 shortly, but you've got Katie Trevarthen heading up this group. She's a big part of your Premier 15s team. You've got Mo Hunt on the other side. To have that calibre of individual dedicating their time, dedicating their energy to bringing this level of rugby to the next level, that can only be a good thing.
Absolutely, and I think that's, for me, it's a fruition of kind of the statement of intent we made 5 years ago when we started. Alan Buzzer was very instrumental in that, and he wanted us to be the best performance development centre in the world, and for women's rugby, and that's not just players, that's coaches and officiators and everything like that. So to have, for me, role models and people who have been in and around the game and actually can allow people to aspire to almost be them and actually see what the end product looks like is pretty powerful. And Katie is a prime example of that now. She plays a Premiership and is coaching these guys week in, week out. We've got the same at the Premiership level. We've got Emily Scarrett and Sarah Hunter, who are both player coaches with us. Sarah in particular is starting to go into that sort of head coach role as well. So for me, that's what the programme's about. We're providing an opportunity for players to develop and be aspirational, but we're also giving players an opportunity to become coaches if that's their sort of end destination as well.
So are there opportunities for players who perform at this level to step up and play Premier 15s?
Absolutely, and for me that's probably the wider pathway. We're very fortunate that we've got an in-house pathway with the students here. We've got 3 BUCS teams, which is great. That's a lots of opportunity for all levels. So we've got the social level as well as the aspirational performance here that you're seeing today. We've got our Premiership level that the players can play, but obviously our external pathway then with things like our partnership with Loughborough Town, which play in the Championship on a Sunday, and then we've got our college programme as well at 16 to 18 that Brad, our defence coach at Premiership level, coaches as well. So actually the tightness of our pathway is aligned, but more so it shows we have a clear pathway and alignment for players to move.
Let's move on to this evening then, a double header. Stick with us, it's BUCS Super Rugby later. Loughborough students taking on Northumbria. Last week a good win away against a Hartpury side. Any win on the road in BSR is a good win. How does that set you up for the rest of the year?
Absolutely, we talk about starting well, but Hartpury's on a nice place to go. It's a tougher place and they play a real strong physical game, and for us to sort of come through that was a real testament of our preparation. Some of our boys have played National League in preparation, and I think that's sort of paid off well, and obviously rolling into this week we get a bit of momentum, and it sets itself up for a great home game with a great crowd.
I think we've talked for a bit too long because the players are back out there now ready for the second half. Cheers Reece, enjoy the rest of the match. Back to you, Joe.
Well, believe it or not, 574 days since either of these teams played a BUCS match. The 11th of March 2020? Yeah, God, goodness me. All that time ago, but you wouldn't know it from a high calibre first half where Loughborough took the initiative early. 2 tries in the opening 10 minutes and a third added just before half time sees them leading Hartpury 15 points to 0.
It's a great kick from Sophie there. It's a brilliant kick to just trickle out into Loughborough's 22. So yeah, excited to see what they'll do here.
So Hartpury with the early pressure that they need in this half, and the line out so troublesome for them in the first half, but so important to acknowledge the loss of Sophie Davies, Gabriella Skov. Their 2 main line out jumpers through injury, and forcing them to the bench. Talented individuals, but you don't want to lose your starting second rows in the opening 20 minutes. They are beginning to overcome those injury hindrances as a knock-on again on the left wing from Loughborough brings play back. Was advantage from a knock-on from Hartpury. We see some of their replacements on now. Maya Butcher-White is on. Just looking out for a few extra numbers. I think Nadine Vincent as well. So the change is being rung. Certainly for Hartpury. And they'll be looking for the energy of these new faces to turn the tide on a match that was a dominant half of rugby from the African Violets. Hearing from their captain before the match. They're not just here to have a debut season and make up the numbers, they're here to try and win it. This is a statement being made very, very early on the first Wednesday of women's BUCS action. Bit of untidiness at the scrum, delaying the put-in, but I think we're just about ready to go. Well, the new faces of Hartpury shunting Loughborough back, but as has been the way throughout the match, Oyeka managing to generate some forward momentum for the African Violets. Strong counter-rucking from Hartpury, making a messy picture for Jess Weaver, who was quite brilliant in the first half. How do Hartpury stop her from running the show for Loughborough? And how do they stop that woman? Well, it's with a big hit like that. Oyeka driven back for the first time in the match. And Loughborough, for the first time, trying to kick their way out of trouble. But by kicking their way out of trouble, they find more trouble in the hands of Pip Hendy. Good kick-off return from her. The forwards beginning to try and barge their way through. Much better from Hartpury. Bridger just steps and miraculously gets the offload away.
Leave it 9.
And this is the best piece of continuity from Hartpury so far. Difficult ball to pick up off the laces. Swatted away.
Tackle me! Roll 7 purple!
An aggressive start to this half from Hartpury.
Advantage offside.
Hartpury finds some purchase round the fringes and an offload off the floor. Hands will do it.
Advantage over!
An absolutely key tackle from Nikita Prothero.
Stay there.
Hartpury keep coming. But is it a turnover from Loughborough? It's stolen in the tackle.
Leave it, Red. Scrum advantage.
Desperate stuff from Loughborough, and they come away with possession, again looking to run their way out.
Still got scrum advantage.
They do have scrum advantage, which will be relief for them. Oh, a skewed kick has worked out really, really well for Loughborough. And can Amelia Tuck go the distance? She weaves inside. She's one to beat. She takes the outside. And she is tackled by Pip Hendy, who needed to make it. What defence from Hartpury. The crowd on their feet here at Loughborough.
That was a great run from Amelia, but equally amazing cover tackle.
Advantage offside.
Loughborough with the penalty advantage now, with the numbers in the hands of Oyeka, who stepped inside as she did for her first try when maybe she could have gone wide, to Sophie Henry.
Lovely.
But at the second time of asking, they get it to her hands and they get it safely, and she gets her try.
No, that was great play from Loughborough. Obviously, initial great break from Amelia there. Nena hitting it up down the middle. pass probably should have gone, but she just seen that white line. But great pace from Jess and good hands to get it out wide, and Sophie finishes the job.
Well, a very, very good finish from Sophie Henry, who's toiled with suboptimal service at times on the left wing today, but they finally put one in front of her to fly onto, and did so well to get it down, with Maisie Burton diving across to try and force her into touch. And they're wearing the number 8, maybe looking a bit sheepish from not giving the 2-person overload pass, is Oyeka, but no harm done because Henry got the job done eventually.
No, yeah, that was a great finish from Sophie to get that ball over the line there. Great defence again from Hartpury to get that tackle on her, but equally great finish. So a wounder of a try to concede for Hartpury, who started this half so well, camped down in the Loughborough 22. But a moment of very, very fast magic from Amelia Tutt, almost going the length of the field to set up the opportunity for Loughborough to score through their other winger, Sophie Henry. And with that, register the bonus point. Beautiful passing from Loughborough. Gorgeous hands, and Henry on the burst. Wow, is she fast when she gets some green pastures to run into before she's smashed by Sophie Bridger.
Yeah, she's fast, Sophie, but again, great tackle from Sophie Bridger to get her into touch, because if she goes, she's gone. But no, great tackle from Hartpury.
Not straight. Auction.
Well, a change of hooker to Elizabeth Morgans yields sadly the same result for Hartpury. They've been crippled by their line-out set piece this afternoon. Throw not straight, called by referee Holly Myers. And Loughborough with another chance to launch an attack from the scrum. Healthy crowd here at Loughborough, good feeling around the place. Freshers, second years, third years, all enjoying the show that the women are putting on, and knowing that the men have Northumbria to come in BUCS Super Rugby, kicking off at 6. The first regular season double header in BUCS Rugby history.
Hands out, red.
And what a treat we're being served up in the first course.
Penalty advantage.
Loughborough, the newcomers, having defeated their old rivals Exeter in a playoff. Which will feel like an eternity ago for many of these women, but elevating Loughborough to the highest echelons of university rugby, and up against Hartpury, who really are a fabled side in women's rugby. The number of Premier 15s players they've produced and number of finals they've reached. You don't get much of a sterner test on your first match in the league, but Loughborough are doing incredibly well.
Yeah, no, you said it right there. Hartpury's such a high-profile team. Some of the players that have come out of their setup, that we all know. So yeah, no, big game for Loughborough. But I think both teams are playing really well. Just a few injuries coming here from Hartpury, which is sad to see.
Well, this time Annabelle Aspin down receiving treatment. They'll want to keep her on the field.
Okay, so round the breakdown, you think that you're getting back on side quickly? Not in open play, you're not when there's breakthrough, and then I'll make sure that I'm watching when there's close contact. Okay, anything else? Okay, cool. Time back on. Loughborough scrum because they're in possession.
Well, Sophie Bridger lobbying Holly Myers for a bit more leniency around the fringes of the breakdown. Very politely put across, I'd say, as well.
Yeah, I always try to say the ref's good BUCS. But no. As you see, Izzy Winter's gone off as well, and on comes Poppy Mail, who's also a really good, exciting player to see.
Yeah, Poppy Mail, product of the Saracens Centre of Excellence, in fact, but up here, now studying at this sports study emporium that is Loughborough, and it is Loughborough who continue to pierce the Hartpury defence with regularity.
Advantage.
High tackle, they'll enjoy the advantage and they'll roll the attacking dice. Lovely pivot play. Can they find Henry again? Out in the left flank.
No advantage coming.
A juggle and a knock on brings us back to the penalty. Beyonce Fowler, I'm not sure if she's a frustrated 10, popping up in that first receiver role, but really adding so much because she naturally seduces the defence with the threat of her ball carrying capacity, but with the hands to release the backs out the back.
Yeah, 100%. Beyonce is such an exciting player. She's got the hands of a 10, but she's the first person to put her hand up and put herself in that first receiver role and just pivot that ball away beautifully. But no, also really good play from Loughborough to get that ball wide, but sadly just a knock on at the end.
See you, Mark. Hold there.
Pip Balcom just about finds Oyeka, who's been towering in the skies at line-out time, as well as a clattering presence in the contact. Jess Weaver, she has another dart inside to the initial try scorer, Prothero. No knock on, so Loughborough will keep playing, and they're going to be across the line through that blustering 8 of theirs. Oyeka bags a brace. Loughborough have 5 tries, and they lead Hartpury 25-0.
That was great from Loughborough. Getting a lot of pressure from that maul from Hartpury, though. Hartpury doing really well to stop us there, but then just can't stop Nena, it seems.
Well, Nena Oyeka carrying her opposite number across the line. You're laughing next to me, Megan.
I am.
Piers Nena Oyeka enjoys a try.
Oh, she loves it. She loves to get her name on that score sheet there, but she's just such a powerful player, and when you look at her you wouldn't think that she's got so much power in her legs, and yeah, she's just a great player. It just makes me laugh.
So the kicking duties handed to Grace White, who splits the uprights and adds our first conversion of the afternoon and stretches Loughborough's lead to a scarcely imaginable 27 points to 0 over Hartpury. 25 minutes remaining of the match, and Hartpury in a position where they're now looking arguably to salvage something from this game.
Great take from Beyonce.
Again, the hands of Beyonce Fowler, as light as clouds out there. So the same maybe not to be said for her in contact.
Backwards!
Loughborough seeking the wide channels, and the footwork from Sophie Henry almost sees her squirm free.
Penalty advantage. Where would you like the penalty? Here or there?
Jess Weaver takes the second option.
Time off, number 8.
But we are going to see a yellow card now.
Penalty here, and then you weren't on the side.
So the culmination of multiple penalties eventually taking their toll on the patience of Holly Myers. Hartpury reduced to 14 players for the next 10 minutes, and play just stopped, concerningly, for Loughborough for Beyonce Fowler, who is down on the near side. Well, a horrible sight, and one that we've seen a few times with a number of Hartpury players departing the field injured in the first half, and now Beyonce Fowler with players and assistants gathered round her.
Just hope she's okay. Such an exciting player to watch. Just hope she's all right.
Well, while Beyonce Fowler is receiving attention, we see Mo Hunt in the middle there. So much experience to impart on these young Hartpury charges. World Cups, double Olympian. I mean, I can't count high enough for how many AP15s games she's probably played in her career. You know yourself from playing in the Premier 15s environments and working with players like Mo Hunt, how much you can learn and the experience that you can draw upon that the Hartpury players are there.
Yeah, like obviously Mo Hunt's such a great player, such a nice person as well, that I'm sure these Hartpury girls are learning a lot from Mo, and just, yeah, she's just such a great player, and obviously she has so much experience under her belt, obviously playing for England and going to the Olympics, so yeah, they'll learn a lot from her.
And for you, what sort of messages will she be delivering tactically for Hartpury? They've clearly been punished at the breakdown, and they've been caught on the hop by the speed of which Jess Weaver's wanted to play. But what can Hartpury do to fight their way back into contention of some match points in the second half?
I think, obviously, you've said it with the penalty count. I think discipline is going to be a big impact in this game. Obviously, already seeing one yellow card, but also if Hartpury can release their backs a little bit more by using some plays where we see it from Loughborough, where they open up for the backs when they let it go, so that'd be nice. But yeah, I think when Hartpury release these backs, that's when it'd be a really, really, really good thing to see.
Well, the sad news is, as you may have guessed from the way that the Loughborough players have broken up and they're beginning to set themselves to throw a ball around and stay warm, is that the injury to Beyonce Fowler looks to be a nasty one. So both teams breaking away and looking to stay warm, while Beyonce Fowler looks to get the best medical attention that she can on the field. And really, really so disappointing to see an injury to such a promising player, to any player, but so early in the season when all of us, I mean spectators, but I mean players mostly, have been starved of rugby, proper rugby, for so long.
Yeah, it's so sad to see on the first BUCS game back, and obviously Beyonce has a lot of involvement with the Lightning team as well, so yeah, it's just something that's awful to see. And even with the Hartpury players as well, seeing them go out in the first half, it's just things you don't want to see on the first match back. It's going to be a long season as well.
And just mentioning about Beyonce Fowler's involvement with the Loughborough Lightning, what's it like for you as a Lightning player, working with the students and having that, that youthful energy feeding into the club and the team, and sort of kind of working because I know you work with Loughborough Town as well, kind of this one massive rugby monster that is all sort of feeding into the success of the Lightning. It must be a cool place to be playing.
Oh yeah, it's great. The depth in the squad is just ridiculous. Obviously you go from Lightning, you have the BUCS, and as you said, Loughborough Town, the depth at Loughborough is just so massive, and you see it in every single team. We have great players. Obviously you see Alex Baker and Grace White, who have a big part to play in Lightning as well, so the depth of the whole Loughborough squad is just amazing.
And truly aspirational coming here now as well, because there is that defined, clear pathway that, if you come to Loughborough University or if you go to Hartpury University and you perform, then there is a feasible next step into becoming a player in the Premier 15s.
Oh, 100%. Like having that lightning at the top, it's just, if you come to Loughborough, like it's achievable for anyone really. If you play well, then you will play at the top. And obviously young aspiring Loughborough BUCS players at the moment, some of them will come into the Loughborough Lightning squad, I'm sure, and it's great that everyone gets the opportunity to play at such a high level. But it's just great for women's rugby all round. It's great.
And keeps you on your toes as well, because you've got players like Jess Weaver darting around at the bases in BUCS as well. Oh
yeah, it never stops with the competitive edge at Loughborough. Obviously there's so many nines, like you have obviously myself, Jess Weaver, you have Jenny Maxwell, Eloise Hayward that's just come in, and obviously Jess Weaver is part of Lightning. She played last week against DMP, so yeah, it always keeps you on your toes, but competition's great. Like you wouldn't get better if you didn't have competition, so we love it here. Like we learn to make it a good thing and not to like almost get caught up with it and make it a bad thing. So no, we love it.
And then what about, you know, these incidences? We're seeing the Hartpury women stretch off, you know, trying to keep warm. Like these periods that occasionally happen through nasty injuries must be so difficult to maintain focus and then also sort of keep yourself limber and game hardened, because you cool down pretty quickly out there.
Oh, 100%. With breaks in play, like I'll be the first player to get shot with cramp, so it's always try and keep yourself limber. It's easy to switch off and focus on, like obviously Beyonce Fowler going down, not let it get to your head and just focus on the game. But yeah, stay limber because cramp will get you.
Well, 27-0 Loughborough lead Hartpury at the moment, with a healthy chunk of the second half remaining. If you're just joining us, the pause in play is sadly for an injury to Loughborough's prop forward Beyonce Fowler. So safety and player welfare first and foremost here. And a sad end to one of the standout players of this afternoon. We're lauding only moments before her injuries, the softness of hands married with the destructive nature of her collisions. Quite a heady cocktail if you're a rugby lover like us. And if you're a rugby lover as well, you can stay tuned in to the stream, because today is a bit of history for BUCS, in that it's the first regular season double header, women's and men's, that has ever been broadcast. Loughborough versus Hartpury here right now, but Loughborough versus Northumbria to follow. Kickoff due to start at 6 PM in the BUCS Super Rugby. So plenty of rugby to keep you sated on a Wednesday night. And the good news is that Beyonce Fowler is up on her feet, and she is being helped from the field on her feet, arms over the paramedics, but that is a better sight than seeing her go off on a stretcher, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. It's lovely when you see a player back on their feet. I think obviously you can see her struggling here, but it's a better sight than being seen her stretchered off.
Got a penalty here.
So the crowd appreciating Beyonce Fowler's contribution through hearty applause and cheers from the supporters collected on the touchlines, and excited to get this game back underway, which kicks off with a penalty. I'll be honest, I can't remember what for.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember as well.
Fortunately, Loughborough have booted it into touch, and the true restart is going to be from this line out and from the darts of Pip Balcom. And the momentum naturally taken out of the game from such a long stoppage. But Loughborough starting where they left off, winning the line out and going on the attack and moving wide. Sophie Henry spots a shard of light in the Hartpury defence, but the door slams shut. Amelia Tutt double tackled. That's what it's been taking to drag the right wing flyer down. But a rare error from Oyeka gives Hartpury an opportunity to attack from transition ball.
Great run from Pip Henry there.
Better from Hartpury, using the hands to get outside the outside centre channel defence. And adding some variation through a bit of forward carrying.
Roll 19!
What can Hartpury say in these closing 21 and a half minutes? Can they get on the scoreboard?
Stay there.
Well, the meters,
Penalty advantage, offside.
hard to come by. They're playing with the advantage.
No advantage coming, offside.
And Bridge is going to try and go quickly here.
Not on two, not on.
Here we go. Hartpury's chance. But Amelia Tutt showing her defensive prowess as well as the rangy running that's been on show all afternoon. Play congested in the left-hand corner of the field.
Advantage, penalty advantage, offside.
Limited support for Abby Lee Priestnall, sees her step inside to seek the refuge of her forwards. Just things opening up for Hartpury now, and a forward pass smuggled forward from Jasmine McLean.
That was great play from Hartpury. They're so close.
Agonising. Daisy Smith gets play.
Oh, they're over.
Back underway.
That was lovely.
And Hartpury, finally, all their hard work pays off, and they're across the paint and on the board. Nadine Vincent, the first try in red colours.
Yeah, it was a great try from Hartpury, fully deserved. Just playing with pace and just staying calm and just not getting frustrated that they're not quite making it, but then it comes eventually, and that was a great try from Hartpury.
Well, not just a fast flying piece of furniture, a bit of footwork to get beyond the first on rushing defender and across to get Hartpury on the boards. And 20 minutes and 44 seconds if this kick goes over.
It's doable.
They're not entirely out of the conversation. Well, Bridger can't turn 5 into 7, but the key point is that it is points for Hartpury. They're on the board. They trail Loughborough 27 points to 5 with about 20 minutes to go in this match. So fresh questions being asked of this Loughborough team. They've been all out attack. They've had an answer to Hartpury all match. But finally, their scoreboard has been blemished. Will this add a bit more fight into the Hartpury hearts? Loughborough look to respond through attack. Again, the shape, magnificent out wide and with numbers. Will they find The overlapping winger, the player with no number.
That's Amy Ralph. That.
Amy Ralph dragged down 3 meters short.
Ooh.
Direct,
Oh,
fast through the hole before
great
being
tackle.
buffeted away. Loughborough respond immediately, and it's through Becca Lawn.
That was a great try from Loughborough, going from end to end. Just great to get it wide to no number Amy Ralph, and then the forwards just finishing the job with a bit of momentum there. Great play.
Well, I posed the question that questions may be being asked of Loughborough having conceded. Would it spur Hartpury on? But Loughborough respond emphatically through Becca Lawn. A try on debut against Cambridge in pre-season, but this one that bit more special. Her first in BUCS for Loughborough. Grace White's from almost the same spot at which she converted so consummately, just pulls this one wide of the upright, and Loughborough's 27-point lead is restored. It's Loughborough 32, Hartpury 5. Well, Hartpury find a rare piece of untended grass in the Loughborough ranks from that kickoff. Just a minute remaining on the sin bin, so Hartpury due to be restored to their full complement of players shortly. But they'll have to stave off this rampant Loughborough attack. The amount of options they have when going wide has been so impressive, so difficult to find the answer to. But this is better from Tanwyn Cox, who takes play to just shy of the 22. An attempted interception has created opportunity on the right flank. Browning streaking away, but clattered.
That was a great tackle by Jess Weaver. Here we go, play. Ooh, down the over. That was great from Hartpury.
Try time for Hartpury. It's their second, and richly deserved after a searing run from Ellie J. Browning.
No, that was great. Playing with a bit of momentum on the ball, obviously. A penalty coming in and just playing with pace on this scrambled Loughborough defence and going straight through him, it seems. Yeah, great try.
Again, it's Daisy Smith's impersonation of Jess Weaver with the quick taps that are just feeding a bit of extra life into this Hartpury team. And try number 2, a bonus point, only 2 scores away now. Well, Bridger, injured, still attempting the conversion and needs a moment just to collect herself before re-entering the fray. So key for Hartpury, and if they're to try and get these 2 extra tries to get themselves a looning bonus point, they'll want her on the field.
100%. Hartpury have clearly shown that when they play with momentum and pace on the ball, that they're pretty much unstoppable. So it'd be nice if Sophie Bridger stayed on. I don't know if she is there.
Well, Daisy Smith, who's come on at 9, has really added some zip to this Hartpury attack.
Yeah, she's been brilliant as she's come on. She's had a lot of pace to the game and she's playing really, really well. Some of her cover tackles have been really, really, really good. So no, she's playing really well.
I think Tanwyn Cox as well, wearing 19. Her initial burst got the Loughborough attack pedalling back. And here's just that, once you get in behind defences, it's very difficult to reorganise yourself and fend off the further waves that come. But rather messy and unusual outcome from the kickoff means it's going to be a Hartpury throw.
It was a little bouncer, wasn't it? Alex will say she meant to do that.
Not necessarily one from the training ground.
No, I think that's... I think it's to note here that got Erin Rochester that's come on. I think Jess Weaver's moved to 13 as well, so that'll be nice to see if the ball goes wide a little bit more.
Hartpury with a long way to go.
Hold, two, hold.
But a mighty kick clears the decks, albeit into African Violet hands. They decline the opportunity to counter, drop it onto the toe.
Yeah, it looks like
And another line out to Hartpury.
Going for some territory here instead of running the ball. But no, it was a good kick. I think Alex probably would have liked a few more metres on it, but no, still a really good kick, and see what Hartpury do off this.
Thank you. There we go. Just there. 2. On the kick through there, you have to get in front of you to make sure you listen, okay?
Maya Boucher-White is now doing the throwing, misses her jumper, but taken by Elizabeth Morgans, who is the Hartpury replacement hooker, and Jordan Russell, the starting hooker, in possession, is still on the pitch. So a bevy of throwing options as Jordan Russell goes the long way round into finding 2 purple jerseys, battering into them.
Great line speed from Loughborough.
Use it. Get her on, get her on.
Lovely kick.
Well, Loughborough have spotted green grass, and but for the awkward bounce over the head of the onrushing Sophie Henry, seeking her second. Oh, she would have been away.
That was a lovely kick from Grace White. Obviously the wicked bounce of the ball wasn't in favour of Sophie there, but great option.
Just a chasm opened up in the Hartpury backfield there, which was expertly spotted, and a collective gasp from the touchlines as Sophie Henry moved into 5th gear and advanced onto the ball, but just that little bit too high for her to gather.
Just couldn't get her hands on it. But no, great intent from Loughborough there, just to mix up play a bit and go into the backfield because it's gaping wide back there. But no, great eyes from Loughborough.
Bind. Set.
Well, here come Hartpury, and they're breaking right, and they're breaking strongly.
Advantage.
But a knock-on puts pay to their attempts. And Loughborough lay chase to the backfield. The ball trickling so awkwardly. Nothing that Hartpury could do with that.
That was a great kick from Loughborough. I'm not quite sure who kicked that, but that was a great kick.
Hartpury line out.
Well, it's probably to the relief of the Hartpury players that it did go out in the end. The number of Loughborough jerseys that were beginning to pour through into the 22.
See Sophie Henry and obviously Sally Williams coming from behind there. Extreme pace between them both. So lovely there.
Well, be that as it may, Loughborough get the possession back, and Oyeka is looking for a hat-trick.
She just sent the offload that time, didn't she?
She's looking for a hat-trick, but Loughborough are just looking for another, and it's gonna come through, Ralph.
That was a great tackle from Hartpury there.
Okay, sorry, misheard. Sorry, Dino.
Well, some confusion with the Hartpury clad touch judge, but eventually we get to the bottom of it, and Amy Ralph has finished a sweeping move for Loughborough, one of the most pleasing on the eye of the afternoon. And that just sums up what Loughborough have been doing with the ball in hand all afternoon.
Great finish from Amy Ralph. Also, amazing cover tackle. She was unlucky with that one, but no, it just shows when Loughborough get the ball wide, they're just so lethal out wide. But yeah, great play, but also really good defence from Hartpury.
And good honesty from the Hartpury touch judge as well.
Great. I'm pretty sure it's Mia Venner there playing touchy, but yeah, no, great honesty from her.
Yes, that is Mia Venner herself, recovering from an ACL injury at the moment, with an England cap to her name. So a lot of very talented individuals waiting in the wings to come back for Hartpury across the season. A better effort from Grace White, but into a stiff wind at Loughborough that's played its part in sections throughout the match, but another try. The score looking resounding now for Loughborough. They lead 37 points to 10. That is a great finish.
It's a great finish from Amy Ralph. Obviously, she's a 9 at heart, but she's so fast on those wings and shows that she can do the finish as well.
So Hartpury, what can they do? Can they get 2 tries to leave the Midlands with a try bonus point? The losing bonus point surely beyond their reach.
Just a few handling errors from Loughborough, but this will be really exciting from Hartpury. Midfield scrum, this is where you want to be as backs. Getting so excited about what you can do from a scrum here.
Well, it is absolutely prime. I said that the losing bonus point is beyond their reach. That's complete nonsense, because if they were to get 2 converted tries, they would still be out of reach. My clearly not a university myself for maths. And Hartpury through Smith, who's been a fantastic introduction in this second half, tries to energise Hartpury across for that 3rd try, but Hartpury is stripped in the tackle, and Loughborough just seem to have so many numbers left and right of the breakdown every time they turn the ball over. Oyeka has been a welcome port in stormy seas whenever the Hartpury defence has got on top of Loughborough. And not the best clearance from Loughborough, but safe and across the touchline nevertheless.
Yeah, I think Loughborough got a bit caught up in the middle of the pitch there, maybe just playing one too many phases, when maybe could have exited a few phases before, just set a platform and just get that ball away. But that was a big kicking angle from Grace, so she did well to get that one away.
Loughborough, let's go, please. Loughborough. What's the issue, ladies? Okay, there's your mark, bring it closer.
So minutes remaining of this highly entertaining match. Loughborough stealing another line out. It's been an Achilles heel of Hartpury today. They know that they can perform better than they have done today. Although some of these errors have come from just the supreme play from Loughborough, who've been willing to run everything, just as they are now from their 22.
Too many rolls.
But that's the risk. Daisy Smith will get the tempo up nice and high for the final moments, and Priestnall will take Hartpury to within 2 metres. Double hit from Loughborough. Although the penalty advantage means that all these hits might just be to no avail. Hartpury will want to get across the line now. They need 2 tries for the try bonus point. They wrestle to within a metre short. Muscular defence from Loughborough denies them again. Where do they go from here? Left, Daisy Smith. Picked up and carried back.
No advantage coming, tackle, not rolling.
She's over.
A tap, a go, and Nadine Vincent finishes the job that the rest of her pack, propelled on by Daisy Smith, had started. Try number 3 for Hartpury. Few minutes left on the clock. They can come away with something.
No, that was great play from Hartpury, just staying on top with those big ball carries, and then great eyes from Vincent there just to take the quick tap and just go straight through.
Well, the upright rattled, but the most important thing is it's try number 3 for Hartpury. Our clock slightly out of step with the scoreboard clock here in the stadium. 1 minute 35 left, so it'll be close to marrying up to referee Holly Myers' clock. And with that time pressure in mind, Megan, it's time for your player of the match.
Oh wow, I think there's going to be some... This is a tough one. I think we need to give out some big mentions, like Grace White's been great, Alex Baker as well at managing that game. Big shout out to Nena. But for me, I think it's got to go to Jess Weaver. I think she's been absolutely amazing today. Like, as I said, big shout out to Nena. If I could give it to them both, I would. But Jess, she just controlled the game so well, playing with that pace, which inevitably is what's been the result of so many tries. So yeah, mine's got to go to Jess Weaver.
So Loughborough's number 9, Jess Weaver. She started at scrum half. She's finishing the game at outside centre. She's driven the tempo. She really has been the conductor of this dominant Loughborough performance against Hartpury, and she is the player of the match. As one of the other contenders picks up, and it's in the hands just about to Weaver, who has a hand in releasing Amy Ralph, who'll seek to finish things with an African violet flourish before a loose ball yields a knock on. Hartpury will have one more chance to make it 4 tries. I'll have to go the length.
Still got scrum advantage if you want it.
Loughborough defending to the very depth. Hartpury having to work so hard to get out of their half.
Tackling, not rolling.
But the penalty will help, as that's our player of the match, Jess Weaver. No tries for her today, but a hand in just dictating the mood of this Loughborough team.
Yeah, 100%. And even when she's gone to 13, just her smooth hands have just helped Amy Ralph get over that white line. So yeah, great performance. A great performance from both teams, I think. Both been amazing today.
Well, look at the power of Jordan Russell as she tries to drag Hartpury across for this fourth try. Ellie J. Browning is away and she's still going. What a try this would be to bag the bonus. But incredible cover defence from Loughborough.
That was a great run to get outside Grace White there, but Grace White and Chloe Williams didn't give up and got her down and got that turnover. Brilliant defence.
Well, there's still a bit of meat left on the bone of this match. We thought that might be the end.
Thought they were going to put it out.
Take the line as your defence.
One more try than before, I think.
Take the line.
But Loughborough want to have a go at 40. They're cheered on by various segments of the crowd who've broken into a bit of song here too. And are we going to see the Loughborough Flyers unlock Hartpury one last time? Slightly messy ball from the top. Too messy to clean up without knocking on, and Holly Myers blows the final whistle. And it is Loughborough who opened the season with a resounding victory over the hotly tipped Hartpury. They win this one 37 points to 15. So Megan, an incredible statement from Loughborough and a glimpse of just some of the exhilarating rugby that they produce. None so more typified than Amelia Tutt wearing 14.
Yeah, another mention I forgot to give Amelia Tutt. So fast and electric, and when she's gone, she's so hard to stop. But I think Hartpury, we have a lot to see from them for the rest of the season. I don't think this is really giving them credit of how much of a great team they are, so I'm excited to see how they progress further in the season, to see what comes from them. There's Nana with a little show and go nearly.
Well, there's plenty of danger all across this Loughborough backline. We only saw her roaming free a few times, but Sophie Henry still got herself a try. Electric speed out on the left flank.
Yeah, she's so fast, and when she goes, and I think she got given some unlucky balls today, and I think if she got some really clean balls, it'd be really exciting to see what she can produce for this Loughborough team. But yeah, great performance from the whole team, I think.
Well, that woman wearing number 8
a little show and go
is the rampaging yin to the speedy yang of Loughborough's back three. The collisions, the power, married up with the hands and the invention and the freedom to play out wide by Loughborough. Really impressive performance from Nena Oyeka. But Sophie Bridger, she drove her team on for Hartpury across the afternoon. But it was Nadine Vincent who finally got Hartpury on the board.
Yeah, some great play from Hartpury. Obviously, Sophie Bridger's such a clinical person in that Hartpury backline. She's so good with ball in hand, and the speed of Pip Hendy and Maisie Burton out wide. Once they get going, they're almost impossible to stop. But it's a bit sad that we didn't see them run as much as we'd like to see. But hope there's a big season ahead to see that.
Well, as soon as Hartpury felt that they might have an opportunity to get back in the game, Becca Lawn burst across the line moments later to say, not a chance. But Hartpury kept coming to their credit, and Daisy Smith really added some great energy to their attack, and she was the catalyst for a lot of the tries and a lot of the good that came from Hartpury in the second half. Yeah,
she did a real good job at speeding up that game for Hartpury, and just when you play with such pace and momentum of game, it's so hard to defend. So yeah, big credit to her for she came on and made such a difference. So yeah, really well played from her. And this try was one of the picks of the afternoon. Great finish there. Fabulous finish, fabulous hands.
to engineer the opportunity. The flat, fast miss ball across the faces of the Hartpury defenders from the player of the match, Jess Weaver. And Amy Ralph, who was such a late addition, she doesn't have a number on her jersey, with an expert finish.
Yeah, she did really well there to get that ball down. Obviously, Amy Ralph as well has also been in the Lightning setup in past years, so she knows this game really, really well, and she did well to get that ball down in the little winger position.
Well, Hartpury didn't give up. They kept coming, and they got their third. Scorer again, Nadine Vincent. An excellent introduction for her from the bench. And Hartpury sensed that they could come away from this contest with some match points through a try bonus. And Browning, who when she got free was electric.
Yeah, it was a really good run from her.
And it wasn't, and not for the first time, Chloe Williams across to make a stunning cover tackle.
Yeah, she's been really good at the back there, playing 15, making some amazing cover tackles. We saw one on the 5 metre line here, taking on a forward, and great tackle from her. Yeah, she's played really well as well.
So, a tri-fest at Loughborough on the opening round of the Women's National League. The first time streamed matches alongside the men's BUCS Super Rugby, and we were served up an absolute treat. And it is Loughborough who are off to a lightning start against Hartpury, who will come back again in the season. They will come back stronger. But it's Loughborough's day here, winning 37 points to 15.
Mo Hunt is pitch side with me, and perhaps not the result you wanted, but huge steps forward in terms of this league is back underway. You've got a really promising group of players, but first, your thoughts on the 80 minutes today?
Yeah, I think like we said to our girls, we just wanted heart. We wanted them to work for each other and to show that, put their bodies on the line, and I can't fault that, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Like, obviously it's a really good learn for us. It's where we are in the league at the minute. A lot of our girls haven't played in about 18 months, some of them longer, so it's a huge step for them to actually be back out playing rugby, and now we know where we're going to build, so it's amazing.
You've got an incredibly ambitious group though, haven't you? You can never write a team off or pump a team's tyres up after one game, but before the game the talk is we want to go all the way, we want to get to the final, we really want to achieve something.
Yeah, absolutely, and the way that the league set out, like, everyone has the opportunity to do that. I think the last time out the girls got to the final, obviously COVID struck and they didn't get to play it, so we're in it for everyone. We're in it for the girls that came before, we're in it for this group of girls, and yeah, we just want to go out there and play some rugby and hopefully entertain people.
It certainly has been entertaining. We've seen it in the men's game with BUCS Super Rugby, how it's been a pathway, giving people competitive matches every week on a Wednesday and allowing them a progress and a pathway into whatever level of rugby they want. How important is it for this group, not just for Hartpury but for Loughborough and Northumbria, all the teams involved, to have a competitive match every Wednesday to truly take the next step and achieve what they want in rugby?
Oh, it's huge. Like, loads of our girls, we've got amazing links with Cheltenham Tigers, but also with obviously Gloucester Hartpury as the setup, Loughborough Lightning obviously the setup here, and you can see like Alex Baker, Jess Weaver, player of the match today, like she plays quite frequently for Loughborough Lightning, so she's around the girls, she's training with the girls, the likes of Emily Scarrett, Helen Nelson, people like that they've got these really class players outside them, so they're learning the whole time, and that's something that we're striving to. We're not quite there with some of our girls yet, but definitely all of them have ambitions to go on and play for Gloucester Hartpury, which is something that we really strive for.
Well, we're back bringing the cameras to the Outpass next week. You've got Northumbria. I can see the smile that puts on your face. It's just brilliant to be able to do that and to be able to showcase this. But what are the work-ons going to be this week?
Our breakdown, like, we were too loose there. Too many balls got turned over. Just our work rate on the floor, our work rate to get the ball back, and our speed to get into there. So that'll be a massive one, something that we'll target throughout the week. And just playing. Like, I think we spent a lot of that game, especially first half, just defending, letting Loughborough run at us, not going to get the ball back, and that's not how we want to defend. That is not how we want to defend. So making sure that we're coming off the line and then looking after our ball when we do get it.
Well, great to have you involved in this. Great to have a chat as well. Commiserations today. Hopefully when we chat next week it'll be that smile but on the back of a win. Let's bring in Katie then. Try not to have too much of a dust up on the way through, but safe journey home. Thanks for having a chat, Mo. It all seems quite nice natured between you, but ultimately it's very competitive and you've come out on top today. A bonus point win. The first game for this group of players at this level. You have to be pleased.
Yeah, like really happy, and so happy for the girls. Like such a nice opportunity for them to, like, they've, as Mo said, they've been waiting to get out, a lot of them, to play again rugby for 18 months, and have been working really hard in the background. And I think our result today actually is testament to them and some of the commitment they've put in over the last season, and how hard they've worked in this pre-season to sort of get a fixture ready.
What's that build-up been like then? Because 18 months is a long time, particularly at this kind of formative age of these players where playing rugby is really important. Has it been difficult to sort of keep the engines ticking over? Are some of them over-revved? Are some of them undercooked? How's it been?
I mean, it's definitely been tough. Like if you look at this year, we've essentially got two years of first years, because we've got a year of people that have been here for a year but just not got to play. And actually they've done such a good job of supporting each other, and we've got a really good committee here in terms of the students, and they've put things on to support each other in terms of sort of from a welfare point of view, and we've trained whenever we can, and sometimes that's looked like actually some really recreational touch because that's what we've been allowed to do from a COVID point of view, but actually that's really helped us from sort of like a culture and everybody getting to know each other point of view, and I think that's really sort of stood us in some good stead going into this season, and it's been a tough 18 months for them.
First game, bonus point win. I mean, as a coach, you're never going to commit to it, but some of the players beforehand, on camera, I hasten to add, have talked about the ambition, talked about going all of the way. Are we getting a feel for what to expect from this team? I mean, 7 tries in the opener. Can we expect that all season? One of the most enjoyable things was the fact that you ran it from everywhere. The brand looks electric.
Yeah, and you know that's what we said to everybody today. They came into the game with 3 words. They wanted to bring energy, they wanted to bring intent, and they wanted to bring accuracy. And I think that energy and intent you absolutely couldn't fault. And you, as you say, they were really willing to sort of play for anywhere and really express themselves on the rugby pitch. And that's what it's all about for this group of players. We've got some real good talent and some players with so much potential to really kick on to the next thing. And this outlet for them to just play is exactly what we want it to be, and actually we saw that today. Accuracy wise, there's definitely a few things that we'll go away on, sharpen up a little bit. You could see that it was early days in the season, but I'm really excited about this group going into the season.
That. 7 tries, massive victory in front of a great crowd, and you're already talking about the work-ons. I think testament to the performance was that the commentary team, including one of your own players, I hasten to add, picked a different player of the match to the one that you chose in the huddle, but it could have been any one of a number of players today.
Absolutely, and there were so many players that really stepped up. For us as a sort of coaching team, Nikita really stood out for us. She was absolutely everywhere, but Jess again, absolutely electric. So many times she's just so sharp in terms of those opportunities to just play and to just play on top, and as a 9 that's exactly what you want, somebody playing with tempo, playing on top and always looking for that next opportunity. So yeah, real testament to her on that.
Well, let's have a chat to her now. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Katie, and congratulations to our player of the match, Jess. I mean, we've spoken about the scoreline, but when you come into a new league, I know it's a community where you'll have known pretty much everyone you were playing against today, but to get a victory like that, that's going to really stand you in good stead for the rest of the season.
No, yeah, obviously, so it's our first season in this league, and new group of girls, and all I said, and me and Al said today, was going out there was just have a bit of fun, and obviously to get the result like that off the back of a season out with COVID, and it's just great. It's great encouragement for the girls to like go into next week and play more rugby, so I'm proud of the girls today.
Well, Katie mentioned it, the tempo you were able to create, get that front foot ball. It's exactly what you want from a 9, whether you're a forward or a back. You had a little dart yourself early on. It just seemed like you were just able to get confidence and momentum from that.
Yeah, well, that's how we like to train and play at Loughborough. Like, we want to play that front football rugby so we can exploit the space out wide. And obviously, you've seen Amelia on the wing; she's lightning quick. So we want to get the ball there as quick as possible. And if I myself can get the ball out the ruck quick, that's my job done. So yeah.
In terms of personal ambition, not just for you, but the rest of the girls in the side, this league is going to be incredible this year, and we can't wait to bring you as many games as possible. Make sure you're watching the live streams. But there are opportunities to go up and play Premier 15s rugby as well. The world's your oyster.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's one of the benefits of coming to Loughborough University is we've got so many pathways to essentially get you where you want in rugby. Not everyone wants to go to the top, which is why leagues like this are great. But also then there's obviously that next step of Premiership rugby here with Lightning on a Saturday, and obviously you put your foot forward in this game and play well. Like, Reece will be watching you, and you're sure to have them opportunities on a Saturday. So yeah, it's great place to be at, great university. So
finally, most important question: what happens tonight?
Celebrating? I don't know what's the right answer to say.
There is no right answer, and we'll leave it there. Congratulations, you are the player of the match.
Thank you.
And that ends this live stream, but only temporarily. Huge congratulations to Loughborough, who get their campaign off to the perfect start with a bonus point victory. Of course, Hartpury didn't manage to pick up a point, but we will be back with the cameras at the Alpass next week. Another double header. Speaking of double headers, join us from 5:30, where it's Loughborough against Northumbria in BUCS Super Rugby. But until then, goodbye.